Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, while this short-term bullish divergence is playing out, we're seeing the price of Bitcoin trade back inside this symmetrical triangle pattern. And so, as of right now, there's still some time left to prepare for the next explosive move in the price of Bitcoin and the price of ETH, which I'll talk more about later in the video, so definitely stick around. First of all, just giving you a quick update on the daily Bitcoin charts, because right now the price of Bitcoin is still holding onto this range of support, which is coming into play in between around 18,500 and 19,000. And once again, as I've been saying for months now on this channel, while the price of Bitcoin is still holding onto this important price range, we have not yet confirmed the next leg to the downside in the price of Bitcoin. And so basically, I would only expect another significant leg to the downside in the price of Bitcoin if we see a daily candle close at least below around 18,500. But anyway, if you're looking at the daily Bitcoin price oscillators, first of all, the daily Bitcoin MACD hasn't really changed over the last 1 week or so. This is still showing almost no momentum, which is technically still pointing towards a little bit more choppy sideways price action. But if you're looking at the daily Bitcoin RSI, just the other day, we actually saw one daily candle close with the RSI just below this ascending line of support. And so technically speaking, this was one bearish signal on the daily Bitcoin chart, although with the very next daily candle close, we saw the RSI break back above this ascending line of support. And so once again, as I also explained in more detail in my last video, we need to see some more confluence if we want to see another leg to the downside in the price of Bitcoin, such as a break below this area of support in the price action, for example, or some more bearish momentum showing up in the daily Bitcoin MACD. But as of right now, we have not seen those bearish signals, so we only just had that one bearish signal, which so far isn't a lot of bearish confirmation on the daily Bitcoin chart, at least as of right now. And so basically, one of the most likely scenarios on the daily Bitcoin chart is most likely going to be a little bit more choppy sideways price action, like I've been saying ever since this point right here. But something else that I've also been mentioning more recently on the channel is that this choppy sideways price action actually has limited room left due to patterns like this, for example, on the 3-day Bitcoin chart, because obviously, as we can see here, we have two converging lines, which give the Bitcoin price a tightening range, which means the price of Bitcoin will soon have to choose to either break resistance or break support. And so basically, this tightening range pretty much puts a time limit on the amount of time that we can spend chopping around sideways until we eventually break bullish or bearish in the next significant direction for the price of Bitcoin. And in case you're wondering where these lines of support and resistance are sitting at, first of all, we have support on this 3-day time frame sitting at around $18,000 per Bitcoin, and resistance sitting at around $20,000 per Bitcoin approximately. And so basically, we need to see a confirmed break back above around 20,000 on the 3-day time frame, which means at least a 3-day candle close above 20,000 in order to confirm a break back to the upside. And obviously, for the bearish scenario, we need to see the opposite. We need to see a confirmed break below around 18,000, meaning a 3-day candle close at least below 18,000 in order to technically confirm a break to the downside for this pattern right here. And now, obviously, due to the fact that this pattern right here is on the 3-day time frame, there's still a decent amount of room left in this pattern for the price to potentially chop around sideways. For example, this measurement that I've got right here shows around 3 weeks potentially, but that is if we're looking at this pattern on the 3-day time frame. But instead, if we're zooming into the 8-hour Bitcoin chart and looking at this symmetrical triangle pattern, obviously due to the fact that this is a smaller time frame, we have a lot less room left to go in this pattern. And in fact, measuring out the amount of room that we have left until the price of Bitcoin will have to exit this pattern, we only have a little over 2 days left until the price of Bitcoin reaches the end of this triangle. And obviously, just yesterday, we did actually see the price of Bitcoin briefly exit this pattern to the downside, but like I also explained yesterday, we did not see confirmation for that break to the downside because we really needed to see at least an 8-hour, but ideally a daily candle close below around 19,000, and that just never actually happened. And so once again, at least as of right now, we have not confirmed a break to the downside or to the upside for this symmetrical triangle pattern, at least at the time of recording this video. And And we need to see at least an 8-hour candle close, but ideally a daily candle close above resistance or below support in order to actually confirm a break from this pattern. And in case you're wondering, right now this support line is still sitting at around $19,000 per Bitcoin, and this line of resistance is sitting at around 19.4 to 19.3k approximately. And if you want to know the technical price targets for this pattern right here, then check out my last 1 to 2 videos here on this channel. But anyway, getting straight into the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, because right now the price of Bitcoin is back to finding support along this horizontal line of support, which is sitting at around 19.1k approximately. But once again, as I've mentioned in previous videos, if the price of Bitcoin breaks below this support at around 19.1k approximately, then I would expect a drop down towards this next level of support, which is sitting closer towards around 18.7k, and that's precisely what happened just yesterday. But if the price of Bitcoin confirms a break below that 18.7k level, then the next drop to the downside, I would expect the price of Bitcoin to go down towards around 18.2k. And as for the short-term levels of resistance, these have not changed over the last few days, so we still have some resistance right here at around 19.7 to 19.8k, and we also have some resistance up here at around 20.3k. And as for the 4-hour Bitcoin price oscillators, at the moment these are also showing the same signal as what they've been showing over the last 1 month or so, which once again is still pointing towards some more choppy sideways price action in the short term for the price of Bitcoin, based on these momentum indicators looking very neutral. And in case you still don't know how to make a lot of profits in crypto during a choppy sideways price range like this, then stick around to the end of this video. That will be important. But anyway, just getting into the Ethereum part of this video, because right now the price of ETH on this daily time frame is still holding onto this ascending line of support, and the same can also be said about the daily Ethereum RSI. And so technically speaking, the price of ETH is still in this pause within the bearish trend, because technically we're still in a lower high, lower low price structure. So technically speaking, the bearish trend has not actually broken. It has not technically reversed. Although while the price of ETH is still holding onto this ascending line of support at around 1280 to 1290, and while the daily Ethereum RSI is also holding onto its ascending line of support, we are basically still within this pause within the bearish trend. So we do not see the resume in the bearish trend unless the price of ETH starts breaking below around 1280 with confirmation, like a daily candle close below around 1280. And once again, the same can be said for the daily Ethereum RSI. We need to see some more confirmation for a break to the downside here in order to actually expect the next leg lower. But until then, I would still be expecting mostly choppy sideways price action, because even though we're in a bit of a relief from the bearish trend at the moment, we're not exactly seeing a lot of bullish momentum, as we can see in the daily Ethereum MACD. But anyway, zooming into the 4-hour Ethereum to US dollar chart, and right now the price of ETH is still experiencing this bounce from this horizontal level of support, which is sitting at around 1270 to 1280. And so the next level of resistance to now focus on in the short term is sitting at around 1330 to 1340 for the price of ETH. But if we end up seeing a break above that resistance level, then the next resistance to the upside that I'll be looking at is sitting closer towards around 1380 based on these previous highs. And as for other levels of resistance beyond that level to the upside, these have not changed since yesterday. So if you're new to the channel and you want to know more about these other levels of resistance, then check out my last video on this channel. And as for support levels in the short term, once again, we still have this horizontal level of support sitting at around 1270 to 1280, and anything below that level, then I'll be looking closer towards around 1220. And as for the 4-hour Ethereum price oscillators, at the moment, they are still looking very neutral, especially if you're looking at the 4-hour Ethereum MACD. But if you're looking at the 4-hour Ethereum RSI, as I also said yesterday, this is technically forming a bullish divergence, but obviously since yesterday, this has now been confirmed. And in fact, this bullish divergence technically confirmed as soon as we saw this 4-hour candle close in the green, as I also explained in my last video. And ever since that point right there, obviously we have seen reduced bearish momentum in the short term, exactly as a bullish divergence predicts. But due to the fact that this bullish divergence is only on the 4-hour time frame, these patterns just on the 4-hour chart normally play out over around 1 to 2 days or so before they begin to fade away. And obviously it's already been just about 1 day. And so potentially over the next 1 day, this bullish divergence may begin to fade away, which means we might begin to see less less bullish price action over the next 1 day time period. And so, as I said, on the daily time frame, one of the most likely scenarios in the shorter term is still most likely going to be a little bit more choppy sideways price action within this sideways price range right here. And if you want to know how to maximize your profits in crypto during a choppy sideways price range like this, then make sure to check out the video popping up in the bottom left of your screen right now. And in case you're wondering, the video in the top left of your screen shows you how to make money in crypto if the price is either trending bullish or trending bearish. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.